Parents started showing up at school board meetings complaining about mask mandates, vaccine mandates, critical race theory, radical gender ideology, bizarre manifestations of highly sexualized content in curriculum and instructional materials. And as a consequence of that, people showed up. A good thing about local control over education is that there's not some faceless bureaucrat 4,000 miles away making decisions about your family. You can go to a meeting. You vote for the people who make the policy choices. You could tell them that you plan to vote against them if they're not responsive. That is what a representative republic looks like. And it's healthy. And it made our schools better. But that's not how the FBI saw it. They saw parents as threats, potentially domestic violent extremists. They even created a tag in the FBI system specifically for parents who attended school board meetings. Now, Director Wray was asked about this today, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you two clips back to back. The first is what Director Wray said today, and then the second half of the clip reveals the evidence that we got from an FBI whistleblower, Steve Friend, previously. Take a listen and let me know if the FBI director was lying.
I will say to you the same thing that I said to all 56 of our field offices as soon as I read the memo, which is that the FBI is not in the business of investigating or policing speech at school board meetings or anywhere else for that matter, and we're not going to start now.
Mr. Friend, you ever been to a school board meeting?
Yes, I have.
FBI ever sent you to the parking lot of a school board meeting?
Yes, they have.
And in the parking lot of a school board meeting where the FBI sent you, you were taking down information regarding people's license plates.
That's correct.
Now, it wasn't the first time you'd been to a school board meeting, was it?
No, I went on my own as a private citizen.
As a parent?
Yes.
And so there you were. It must have been quite an interesting perspective. There you were taking down the information of people, parents attending school board meetings on behest of the FBI, and you had been one of those parents at a school board meeting. How did that feel?
Well, after I attended privately, my colleagues teased me that they were probably going to start investigating me.
You used to go after the worst of the worst, didn't you?
Yes, I believe so.
You went after people who looked at child porn?
Yes.
People who were sexually exploiting children?
Yes.
And then you were in the parking lot of a school board meeting, taking down the information of parents. What happened to the cases that you were working to protect our communities from the worst predators that exist?
I was told they were not to be resourced, and then after I was suspended, they were handed off to local law enforcement.
Wow, so the FBI just decided it was more important to have you in that parking lot of that school board meeting than getting the worst of the worst away from people that they could harm.
That's correct.
Sure seems inconsistent for the FBI director to say, we were never investigating speech at a school board meeting, and then to have an FBI former Special Agent Steve Friend saying, yeah, we were there taking down license plate information at school board meetings for people who had showed up to speak. Maybe a criminal referral for perjury is in Christopher Wray's future. Maybe he deserves it on more than one count. But we know this. The fight is not over. I have seen several of you comment that you think this is wasted time, that Congress is just asking questions that we don't get answers to. But sometimes those lack of responses are revealing. And in a world in which members of Congress are actually doing their job, a day like this would piss you off. A day like this would show you that the FBI has completely come untethered from the Constitution and accountability and our due process rights. They're using information to go around the Fourth Amendment that they acquire on the private market. And then when they conduct illegal searches, the FBI director doesn't even understand the basics of the frequency of that problem. And the big tell, when you show them the shakedown, and when you show them the conduct of the Biden family, they get all clammy. More bureaucratic BS, more nonsense. So we have to take this moment today, and I need your help. I need you to get out there and share this information with your senators, with your representatives. We've got to get a Congress ready to fight to defund these entities and these authorities. and these task forces that are cleaning up after the Biden family for all of their corruption. We've got an IRS whistleblower. We've got the whistleblowers that are talking about the bribes. Tony Bobulinski, remember him? Sinohawk, CEFC, the Chinese energy entities that were using the Bidens to get cred to literally come in to our country and occupy part of the energy sector, which is pretty freaking important to our quality of life, our safety, our security, our military bases. That's the big picture. That's what's going on here. And the first big original sin of the Republican Congress was passing the legislation that underwrit trillions of dollars in debt to allow all of this to exist. I fought hard against that. I worked against it. Unfortunately, I was not able to unify my Republican colleagues around opposition to the debt limit bill, but now there's the money. And that financial decision has to be made commensurate with the government funding bill that McConnell and Pelosi agreed to running out. And that's in September. So these are critical weeks. There are times when you can take off, tune into sports, other things going on in your life. But right now, we are buckling down to prepare for a fight about whether or not this woke, weaponized, corrupt government will continue to see money printed to service its misadventures. I do not think that should happen. If you cut off the money, you cut off the blood flow. Don't forget it. Thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you're subscribed to our channel with notifications turned on. You won't want to miss any of the breaking news.